So Flea, legendary rocker and bass player for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, has this amazing major scale warm-up that he apparently uses every single day, every single time he picks up his instrument. And it's not just applicable to bass players. It is fantastic for guitar players as well. Here he is explaining it.
I do like major scales in groups of 3 up and down my neck. And I do them in groups of 4, in groups of 5.
Now that clip was taken from an interview that Flea did with Rick Beato, and I will link that right up here. I will also link it in the description down below just to be safe and make sure I'm giving credit where credit is due. And of course, if you loved Red Hot Chili Peppers, you love Flea and what he's about as a musician, as well as a person, and you enjoy the Rick Beato interviews, then you will certainly get a kick out of that one. You will certainly enjoy that one. So anyways, there you have it. But like he said, his approach, this daily approach to the major scale, is that he goes through it in groups of 3, then in groups of 4, and then in groups of 5. Now he's a little non-specific about the exact approach, so he doesn't talk about, moving up and down the neck to different positions and different shapes. I do think, because it still remains a very simple approach, that if you want to bring your skill level to that of Flea or a more advanced player, I do think moving to different shapes and positions would be extremely helpful, and I will show you how to do that. But really quick, let's just look at this approach from the root position. So if we're in G major, the root position would look like this. All right. So if we wanted to go through that in groups of 3, we would go 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 1. And then we would come back down. All right, so that would be groups of 3. Simple enough, right? It doesn't take a very long time to go from the low E to the high E and then back down. Then he goes through that same position, or what I think you should do is go through that same position in groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 1, 6, 7, 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. You get the point, so on and so forth, up to the high E, and then back down, same thing in groups of 4. Now the reason I'm not really going to baby step you through every little note inside of the groups of 4 is that I think it's really helpful for you to look at that shape. Take your time, if you haven't mastered the major scale, and you're comfortable with maybe the position as a whole, and you're comfortable going through it like this, it does throw a wrench into that when you have to go in groups of 3, 4, and 5. So if that's a little funky for you, great. You should have to slow it down. That's totally fine. That is helpful for you as a player. And I think it's really beneficial if you just look at the shapes and you go through it in 3s and 4s and 5s and feel that out for yourself, all right? Obviously, a metronome is always helpful, and sometimes I'll get somebody asking for, can you go through this, and show us how to use the metronome? Same thing. There are times where there's a complicated maybe rhythm or something, and it's helpful to play it next to the metronome. I think if you just start a metronome, or a drum track sometimes is even more helpful if you get stuck on metronomes, put on a drum track, and you'll be able to figure it out. You'll figure out a good rhythm with the 3s, the 4s, and the 5s. All right, obviously, once you're done with the 4s going up to the high E and then back down to the low E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, again, until you get to the high E, and then you come back down. So there's the root position, and like I said, pretty simple approach. What's so great about it is, it connects, right? If we're using it as a warm-up, first things first, it connects our brain with our, picking hand and our fretting hand. On top of that, the major scale is so freaking important. It's one of those things that I wished, you get excited when you're a new player and you're like, I just want to learn all these songs, I want to learn all these solos. If you really want to improvise and you want to have a great understanding of music, the major scale is like the most integral thing ever. So it gives you this great understanding of the functions of music, right? The 7 notes in the major scale. And of course, learning those shapes is really important because it'll help you map out the neck. You'll get a feel for intervals. If you're playing, 1-4-5 or something, you'll always be able to recognize that. You'll be able to recognize, 1-6-4-5, yada, 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 different progressions, things like that. But again, it'll help you map out the neck if you take it from different positions. So for those of you who are looking at this and saying, oh, it's too simple, I know the major scale pretty well. Well, if you don't know it on an expert level, those little things that can be as simple as just moving around the neck like this, right? Something like that, won't sound fluid. You'll get tripped up because you don't have the actual baked in understanding of how to take things from, a shape that's down here to, a shape that's up here, and be able to get this great horizontal movement around the neck, which is such a, something that can add great flavors to your playing and your ability to improvise and solo and things like that. All right, so what I think would be really helpful, and I've been playing around with this myself, is to take it to the 2nd degree, the 3rd degree, the 5th degree, and the 6th degree. So basically the, roots of the pentatonic scale, right? The major scale has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The pentatonic takes out the 4 and the 7. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then back to 1. All right. And I think that gives you, if you already have a map of the pentatonic, scale, and of course you can look at my video about that right here. But if you have that map, you'll just be able to fill in the missing, major notes from there. So anyways, take it from the 2nd degree, 1, 2, 3. Right? Take it from the 3rd degree, the 4th degree, the 5th degree. I didn't say this, but in the description, there's also a PDF, a free downloadable PDF with these shapes. So like I said, I'm not going to spend the rest of the video baby stepping you through literally, okay, guys, first ring, pinky. I think because of the shapes, you'll understand how to move. And even if you don't, feeling that out for yourself, sounding that out, so to speak, is extremely helpful. Sometimes you need to step away from, from being baby stepped, especially when it comes to something that doesn't really have a lot of technique. How do I rake? How do I bend? How do I slide into that? If we're not doing anything like that, we don't need to be baby step, feel it out, sound it out, like I said. So grab that PDF, download it. You can have it forever. I know a lot of teachers on YouTube, force you to give them your email so that they can then sell you something. It's a Google Drive link. I don't ask for anything. There's no catch or anything like that, and no sales pitch. Just grab the PDF because I'll give you all 5 of those shapes. And if you want, to get really great with this, not just have an incredible warm up and feel really good for your playing session, but to also have a great understanding of the major scale, you'll want to go through every shape. Now, if you are brand freaking new and, it might take you like 30 plus minutes to work through groups of 3, groups of 4, groups of 5 in every shape, what I love to do in certain scenarios is just set a timer, so set a 10-minute timer. If it takes you 10 minutes to work through that first shape in 3s, 4s, and 5s, that's fine. Come back tomorrow or the next day or the next time you pick up the guitar and start from the 2nd degree, right? And then the 3rd degree, things like that. Even if you are moving through it, at a decent pace, but you want to give yourself a cutoff, that is totally fine as well. But like I said, if you're looking to take your skills to the next level, oftentimes it's just creating a better understanding, a better framework around the neck and around the guitar, and just having a better feel for where everything is. So this is a great approach to the major scale. Obviously, I have some stuff on the major scale. I will continue to have stuff on the major scale because, different things make different people click, right? Make these concepts click into place. So anyways, with that, I'll leave it there. There's Flea's daily major scale guitar warm-up. Try it out for yourself. Do it for, a few weeks, every single day, see how that works for you. And of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you found it helpful. It's helpful for me to get that out to more people. And yeah, that's the deal. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.